Warning! The Anime Egotists have opinions about stuff and other stuff. Please understand this while watching the video and know that no opinion is a fact. Not even yours. So please enjoy the video. Or don't.
Hello, everyone. I am Sophia Ring, SP Saturn the 7th, and you are watching Anime Egotists. Enjoy!
And welcome back to the Anime Egotists, where our whole lives are a gag skit. You got me, Foster, and I'm joined by the champion of Johto. Say hello.
And I'm Williamson. I'll send it back to my co-host, the champion of Hoenn.
That is correct. And we are the Anime Egotists. And last time we talked about anime openings. Things, the greatness, the how excited it can get us, and just how really it suits the show. And I talked about how sometimes I'll just watch an anime just for the opening itself.
Yeah, there's a ton, like, thinking back on, especially like the 90s when this was the big thing, they were making constant updated openings for English audiences. They got you hyped for this.
Yeah, but a lot, what a missing art nowadays that I genuinely miss are anime openings in English, getting English singers to do the lyrics. They weren't always home runs, but when they got it right, they really, really got it right.
Yeah, and again, this kind of spread over a whole bunch of different things because some of them were direct copy and pastes of the original Japanese or close translations. And then others were completely bonkers and just different. A whole new thing was written just for this anime.
That's right. All right, and together we're gonna rank our favorite anime. Well, we're gonna talk about our favorite anime openings that were in English. As usual, there's no real best or worst set of the ones we have. And as usual, let us know any anime openings in English that you in particular liked. So let's just get into it. You want to start us off, Williamson?
All right. So I actually talked about this one as one of my favorite Japanese openings, but it's also one of my favorite English dubbed ones. It's another direct copy, and that's We Are, like the first opening for One Piece. I just love it. It fits the show so much. The adventure aspect, the crew coming together. It was the perfect song to kick off One Piece with. And again, I watched the English dub to start, so that I heard the original English dub first, and I just love this song.
Yeah, it really is a great song because a lot of songs in particular will be good songs, but won't necessarily capture the feel of the show. Sometimes that's unintentional. Sometimes that's completely intentional, like we talked about last time. But One Piece is really one of those series where you really need an opening to encapsulate the feeling of adventure. And as wonderful as the Four Kids of opening we first got was, I think We Are is definitely a better fit for One Piece.
Yeah, I mean, as many of you probably know, my co-host Foster really does love the pirate rap, but
I mean, yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. Those are, you don't come up with those by being stupid. You have a genius level person come up with that.
no, but in all honesty, We Are was again the perfect opening for One Piece.
Yeah, and I appreciate you starting off with the One Piece opening because I actually have one of my own, Hikari E, or Towards the Light, by the Baby Stars and Vic Mignogna. Say what you want about Vic Mignogna nowadays, but we haven't said words about him, depending on what side we're on, for very, very good reasons. But the man can sing like an angel, and this song really gets you excited for One Piece. It shows the troubles they go through with storms and everything. And the song itself shows pretty much everything of what the crew does, because it's just a great song overall. And what I love about it most of all is, well, you can kind of eclipse it and put it over a lot of different anime. Like if I were to play the song for somebody and I were to ask them, guess what anime this is for, they might not be able to tell you at first. And that might sound like a bad thing, but overall, I think it just works for a variety of different types of shows, but One Piece in particular.
Yeah, I agree with you. It fits it almost fits the generic anime song, as you were saying, and which can be good and bad. When it's One Piece and it's 900 and something episodes long, I'm fine with that, and having it gives you another uh, good song just to listen to. If it was like a one-off, maybe it wouldn't fit just right, but when it's a long anime, I really do like
Yeah, and
sometimes the
also
generic.
also it's just hilarious to imagine characters like Broly and Edward Elric singing songs like this.
True.
I mean, I feel like Broly would do a better job because Edward Elric would always come up short. But I think Ink, this is still a good song, and it was especially good for me because that was the second opening of One Piece I've ever heard. And the first was, of course, the greatness that was the pirate rap. But we've talked about that. Let's move on.
All right. So we've talked about Pokemon on this on our channel before a good number of times.
Probably too much,
And
but go on.
yeah, and I don't know how much you liked Digimon growing up, because it seems like some people were hardline. You either like Digimon or you like
It
Pokemon.
sucks. No, in all seriousness, I was not. I never got into Digimon, not because I thought it was bad. I've just never had any friends exposed to it or anything. But continue.
So I remember on I think it was JetX. That was where they showed the all the series in the English dubbed one.
Oh, no.
And I remember being the only one of the series I actually got to watch most of the episodes for was Frontier, which is considered the worst of the original series.
Oh no! Oh, just
Because
keep going.
I remember the original like Tamers were I remember seeing episodes but never got to see them enough to understand the plot, but I got to see the beginning few episodes of Frontier. So Spirit Evolution, it may be the worst of the series, but oh my god, Spirit Evolution is an amazing song.
Okay, I haven't heard this song. Is this the Digi Rap?
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. I was about to have to find a new co-host. Well, me and Jacob Clanton, I was gonna have to call Jacob Clanton and be like, "Hey, man, your time's come. You're the new co-host. Let's do this."
No, this is actually by a large number of Digimon fans considered one of the better openings, that because it's not just someone shouting Digimon as many times as possible in about 5 minutes. There's a whole song, and this is the series where they transform into Digimon. The humans transform into Digimon.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that later.
But so it's the Spirit Evolution, and it just I remember singing this song while sitting and watching the show as a kid.
Okay, compared to most anime openings we hear, this is actually one of the few times where I just sort of have to take your word for it. The only Digimon opening I've ever heard is the Digi Rap, and that is trash. That is trash. And for those of you who think, "Oh, you're just saying it because you're a Pokemon," I can admit that there are about a handful of Pokemon themes that are not good. That are just straight up not good. And we can talk about that on another day. But for now, I guess I just have to co-sign on to that.
All right, so what's your next one?
And speaking of Pokemon, I have one of my own, the Pokemon Battle Frontier theme by Jason Appleton. This song, here's the thing. As a kid, my friends and I we'd always make up weird like lyrics to these themes, like we would reverse everything. We would reverse everything and kind of make fun of it. But in all honesty, whenever I would just get by myself and just watch the show and listen to it, I would always think, yeah, this is a really good song. Like it gets you excited. It doesn't get it. There's not too much energy to it, because I know a lot of theme songs will sometimes give a little too much energy. Almost kind of feels like they're screaming the lyrics at you. But no, this one has a nice tempo, a nice beat, and everything. It actually has a full version to it, which nowadays is unfortunately not a lot of Pokemon themes have full versions anymore. But this, I don't know. There's something about this theme that it almost feels. It's almost gonna sound like a cliche. Almost has like a magical feel to it. Plus, it had a Swampert in it, and that's the best starter. But in all seriousness, this is one of my favorite Pokemon openings.
I can agree. I liked that one a lot. This one, if I remember correctly, it shows a lot of the early Frontier Brain action, right?
That's right. That's right. So kind of like the Naruto opening we talked about last time. It almost kind of feels like an anime music video rather than just an actual opening. But I actually kind of like that to an extent. I like showing little tidbits of what we're actually going to get.
Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, it's one of those that, unfortunately, in my opinion, in Diamond and Pearl, there was a few that were lower than what had been previously. So it's kind of like the peak before they went downhill for a few seasons.
Yeah, and a lot of people would argue that it's not just the theme songs, but that in general. But we can talk about that another time. The one problem with this anime opening, and I will never get over this, is that when they show Ash, Brock, May, and the other Max, I completely forgot his name. When it shows all of them like running in the opening, it shows Brock running next to a Tyranitar and the Pidgeot flying over, like basically going alongside them. So as a kid, I thought, wait, is somebody going to catch a Tyranitar? Is a Pidgeot coming back? And it's just like, no, we just threw it in there just because.
And
because we're evil people.
That would have been the perfect season to bring it back, especially because if I remember correctly, at the end, isn't it supposed to be him bringing back his original team for the final battle?
Supposedly, and the whole ending of Battle Frontier is just. It could have been so much more, but the opening was exactly what I wanted and more.
Yeah, I like that one, so I agree. So I'll go with my Pokemon one on my list, and that's the Johto League champions, or better. Oh, I already closed the tab. I forgot.
Born to be a winner.
Yeah, Born to be a Winner. That's the actual name of it. I debated whether to put that one or either the other two Johto themes. Again, this is the series I grew up on. I watched every episode when it was airing. I was a little bit behind. I think I started watching a little bit before the finals in the original league, and then I watched most of Orange Islands, and then really started watching consistently on Johto. And so I grew up hearing the original Johto Journeys theme, and then this one, and then Master Quest. And it was really between Master Quest and this one are two of my absolute favorites. They just fit. They were, especially for that late 90s, early 2000s Pokemon, where Ash could really seriously win this. We still had 20 years, but okay.
Yeah, it's funny because here's the thing. When I get the feeling that if I was never into Pokemon, which would have been a horrifically scary thought, I might have seen the original Johto theme as kind of kiddish, like it's kind of too happy-go-lucky, but then you listen to it and you're like, oh my God, this is magical. And oddly enough, for Johto League Journeys, that's an opening I never got to hear as often as a kid, but I always thought it was one of the coolest openings. Like, because they had lyrics of like the original song, but then they had their own kind of mix and almost kind of like they were rapping to it, but not exactly. If anything, Master Quest was always the one that it always just kept getting showed to me. I'm like, I like this, but let me hear my Johto League Champions thing. Let me hear that one.
I think what happened was this one was the shortest of the three. It was either Johto Journeys or this one was the shortest, and the other wasn't that much longer. And then Master Quest was a lot longer, or at least got a lot more rerun time. Because I do also remember seeing Master Quest a lot more.
Yeah, they love their Master Quest over on Boomerang. But yeah, but Johto League Champions is one of the cooler openings that I don't feel like gets talked about enough. So I completely side with you on that.
And it shows, one of the things I really like about it is the visuals, because it shows all the gym leaders that Ash is going to face on standing on a mountain, and it's his mountain to overcome. And I really like that visualization.
Yeah, it's a cool one. So I guess we just get into mine.
Go ahead.
Okay. I will fully take the beating for this. I will fully take the beating for this one because I could not pick between these two. So you know what? They're both on my list.
Okay.
Get Your Game On by Matthew Drake, Jake Siegler, and Alex Walker, and Hyperdrive by Cass Dillon, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and 5D's theme, respectively. Let me break down GX's theme first. I mean, besides the great lyrics of chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard, it's a really nice, in all seriousness, it's a nice contrast from the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening, which I do love, but I felt like the show and the opening took itself a little too seriously sometimes, especially considering when you had guys like Tristan and Joey running around. I feel like GX's opening perfectly summarizes the kind of the wacky, goofy nature of it. And it's pretty much the last dying scream of the 90s. Like this song, if this song came from the 90s, it would not have surprised me if somebody had told me that. It just works. The lyrics get fired up, and the instrumental with the electric guitar, it's just glorious to listen to.
I can agree. I like both openings. Again, I've seen more of GX than I've seen of 5Ds. I think that's just because of when 5Ds was airing. I just got out of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I didn't really want to have to learn a whole new form of summoning, and then so I never really learned synchro summoning until later on, and just haven't gone back. But yeah, these two were actually on my honorable mentions as a pair because they're good. They're really good. They get you hyped for what's to come.
Not only that, but Hyperdrive almost here's the thing, it has the same energy, but at the same time, it almost feels, I don't want to say necessarily ominous, but it doesn't feel quite as optimistic as it was. Because it's kind of the perfect song to listen to when you're just going on your motorcycle playing card games with people, which I know is something we all want to do someday. Hey, but I don't know. The song to me, I don't know. It almost gets me kind of emotional sometimes. And I have a specific memory because remember when Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was first coming out, they said they were going to have a contest to decide what was going to be the theme song. And there were like 8 or 9 other songs that they picked for it. And this is the original one that they went with.
I don't actually remember that, but
yeah, not only that, but I also specifically remember when we were rooming together, we were both studying in the room together, and you told me, and you looked over at me, and you said, "Have you been listening to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's theme for about the past 20 minutes?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, wait, how'd you know? It's like, it's been playing through your earbuds. I'm like, you could have said something. I would have turned it down, but you weren't complaining about it. I sat there listening to it for about 20 minutes. I did well in that class, so it must have provided something. So I think it works. I think it's safe to say that it's a good song.
It was probably astronomy.
Yeah. Kids, you don't need astronomy. You don't.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
All right. So this one I think you'll probably really agree with, and it might even be your last one on your list, and that's the Zatch Bell theme song. I Have Power. Or We Have the Power.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
I'm just thinking of the one. I don't know the actual name. I just know it's like.
Is it the very first opening?
I think so.
Does it sound kind of ominous in the beginning?
Yeah, but it's constantly singing about power and we've got the power and.
Okay. Yeah, sure I have a feeling of what you're talking about. Go ahead.
It just. Again, it has the ominous tone of you don't know if you'll see someone who's could have been a friend go away in this, or it really gives the feel for the show. It's an adventure, but there's a dark side to it. I really wish they had finished Zatch Bell in English.
Yeah, and if only they had done if somebody did a video about what anime need a remake, but. That actually kind of leads me into mine because I also have the Zatch Bell opening, but I have the second one. The second version of it they did, which was not nearly as ominous. It was more lighthearted. And like I said with the One Piece theme I was talking about, you can kind of put this over any anime opening and it would probably make sense. Well, with the exception of the one time in the beginning they say, Zatch Bell, but you understand what I mean. There's just something reassuring about this theme. And it's honestly, I find it weird that this opening, well, actually both versions of these opening were on the intro to two of the Zatch Bell video games, which you'd think would happen more often. You'd think anime video games would have the actual anime openings in the intro to their video games, or at least like as one of the songs you can listen to. But for some reason, they never used to do that. Actually, they still don't do that, which always kind of bothered me. But I guess they like the songs enough.
It's probably who owns the rights to the songs. Unfortunately, the companies sell it so that someone can make a actual album with the song on it, and then they don't have the right to use it on there when they try to make a game and all this fun corporate nonsense.
Yeah, fun corporate nonsense. Which, I mean, my mom's a lawyer. We can own the rights to some of these songs if we want to, but we can talk about that another day. Anyways, do you have another before your honorable mentions, or?
No, we're down to my honorable mention since we both went over our Zatch Bells. I mean, again, just to summarize that though, they fit the theme of the show so well because it's got its lighthearted moments, but then there's always this dark cloud kind of hanging over because you never know when it might be the end of the series because something really bad happening.
Oh, you mean like Cartoon Network canceling it? Yeah, is that what you meant by that, or am I just editorializing?
No, I think you're editorializing, but
anyway, honorable mentions before I start crying.
All right. Well, I'm going to actually change one of mine just because it was Yu-Gi-Oh! And we've already gone over that. So I'm going to start. My first honorable mention is the English dub of Sailor Moon. I never watched Sailor Moon growing up. I think I watched the remake, whatever, Crystal or whatever it was, a few years back when it was coming out. But it just fits. I hate to say it, but the song fits Sailor Moon. And
okay, I here's the thing. In all seriousness, it's a fine song. It's not a song that I would listen to on a daily basis, but it's an okay enough song. But the one thing I will disagree when you said it fits, because when all the time when she would say a fighting evil by moonlight, all that other stuff, and she never runs from a real fight, I'm like, that's all she did. All she did was run and cry. Hi. Why are you lying to us, you bitch?
I don't know, but it's a fun song to listen to on an occasion. I don't know why. It's really weird for me, but
yeah, I guess I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. And I'm just gonna lump these two together because they're both Pokemon openings. I Want to Be a Hero by David Rolfe. So the Pokemon Advance opening, and this song, this is another one of those situations where I think one of the main reasons I loved this song as a kid was because I just never got to hear it all that often. I heard This Dream by Advanced Challenge a lot, and the Advanced Battle theme I do like, but I think it's kind of like the Master Quest effect. Like I just heard it so often that I kind of grew numb to it. It's still a great song, but for some reason, the specialness of I Want to Be a Hero really just got to me. And it really makes me sad that there was never a full version of this song because little kid me would be eating that up.
Yeah, it's really weird when thinking back on Pokemon, at least back then, because there were reruns but they never went back all the way, or didn't show all the other series. So, like you said, we saw a whole bunch of Master Quest on Cartoon Network, but the other two Johto series we never saw. And then once they finished Advanced and went into Advanced Challenge, they kind of did the same thing where they didn't really show much Advanced.
Yeah, and in regards to the full version, the only person I know who's done like a full cover version, and I'm not trying to sell short any other artists out there, it's just the only one I really know of, is this guy named Silverstorm. He does a lot of Pokemon opening covers, and for pretty much all the ones that haven't had full versions, with the exception of like one or two, but there's a good reason for that, he's released full versions of and added lyrics onto it. And in my opinion, he captures that feeling perfectly. You should give it a listen. Give it a listen if you haven't.
All right.
And of course, I know Williamson wanted to include this on this list, but everybody gets so upset when he talks about this opening nonstop. But I have to pick. Hey, the journey starts today. Pokemon Journeys opening by Walk Off the Earth. Now, normally Williamson's always the one telling you this is like the best opening ever, and it's good, it's cute and everything, and it does have, I don't know, it has a sense of optimism and kind of like an easy flow. It's also the first Pokemon theme to not have the word Pokemon said at all in it, which is an interesting thing when you start to think about it. But yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it there because we don't like when some people talk about it forever.
I wonder who that is.
You trying to say something? Tell our audience.
No, but in all honesty, I agree. It is a really good Pokemon opening, and so far it really, except for maybe one or two episodes, it really fits Pokemon Journeys as its theme.
Yeah. Yeah, and the duet at the contrast between both the male and female singers really makes it special to me, Williamson, because he's the one who will. Moving on.
All right, so I mean we've talked about Pokemon openings already on this, so my last honorable mention is going to be the original opening / its remake in the X and Y anime. Both of them are really good. I mean, everybody, you've seen that video of the orchestra playing it, and they pull up images of Pokemon in the background and stuff, and the audience stands up and starts singing along to an orchestra playing the opening.
Yes, and then there's that one guy who, once it gets to a certain point after the end, because all anime songs they play like a minute or 30-second version, and then the full version's just stuff that you don't always hear. There's just that one singular guy who's still singing it after everybody else has left him hanging. I'm like, I respect that. It looks sad, but I still respect it.
But it's an amazing song. I mean, everybody in our generation probably knows it, regardless of if they watched or even liked Pokemon. They had a friend who who forced them to watch, and then a few episodes, and they know the song and could sing it with you.
Hopefully, it got to the point where sometimes in high school and college, we'd be listening around, sitting in the music. Somebody would play the Pokemon opening, and a couple other people would laugh at first, but then we'd all just get into it and start singing it. Fun fact about this song: in I want to say either 5th or 6th grade, for extra credit, we had to do a song about who we wanted to be president. We're not going to talk politics here very long, trust me. And somebody he made a song for Obama in the tune of the first Pokemon opening. It was something. It was pretty magical.
But yeah, so, and again, you can go on YouTube and look up covers of this song, and you probably will. It's probably 90% of YouTube now is videos of people covering this, just because everybody's covered it. Whoever's ever done a cover.
Some better than others, and that's not saying the artists out there are bad. I'm just saying they sing it better than either of us could.
I don't sing.
I can. I just choose not to. Somewhat. Anyways, right. Is that all your honorable mentions?
That's all my honorable mentions.
All right. What's your? I guess I'll just end it. Actually, no. You go first.
All right. So I actually this is again kind of how I started. So it's another one that I mentioned on my actual honorable mentions last time. So again, this is a personal connection because me and my dad watched an anime that was renamed Star Blazers here in the US. Again, it's about a group of survivors from after an alien attack on Earth going out to get a device that can restore Earth and save the remainder of the human race. But it's an exact copy of the Japanese one, as far as I can tell, just dubbed in English. But they do a good job. I mean, it's got the deep voices of the original, just in English, and it tells you what's happened, where they're going, what they've got to do. And if you know what I just did, then congratulations.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm always concerned. I'm always kind of hesitant when it comes to English openings that are basically direct translations from the Japanese material. Well, but I can always give them a chance. And from what I've heard, it is a genuinely banging song. But I would you say you prefer the English version or no?
I prefer the English version only because that's what I watched with my dad. Maybe the Japanese one is better, but because I was watching it when I was like 13 with my dad. So that's why I like this one.
I still think we need to get your dad on an episode here. I think he would bump our numbers up.
I doubt that. He's only seen probably, as I said, this and Astro Boy probably are the only two things he saw. Maybe Speed Racer.
But anyway, that's your last one?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And finally, this one's going to be a little bit of a surprise to you, but Let's Beyblade by Sick Kid featuring Lucas Rossi. Beyblade, I feel like Beyblade gets kind of shirked when it comes to anime that we used to watch. People don't really talk about Beyblade as much as they do Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, all that other jazz. But still, there was, and even I'll admit it, a friend of mine in high school said, "Oh man, I used to wake up every morning to watch that crappy TV show." And whether you agree with that or not is up to you. But this opening got you hyped. This opening, like I said with the Zatchbell thing, this opening is on the PlayStation 1 game I have. And every time, and when my dad got it for me, I was so excited. But I barely even pressed the start button because I just wanted to listen to the theme song over and over and over again. The lyrics, they do a great job, but they also don't do necessarily that great of a job explaining what the hell the plot is. Let me put it to you this way. The lyrics explain the game of Beyblade itself rather than the plot of the show, running around trying to beat people, all that other stuff. But yeah, Beyblade, the very, very, very first opening with Tyson, Ray, and everybody else who I think people have largely forgotten about at this point, sadly. This opening just got you excited. It got you interested. It's a good song.
I pulled up the beat because I actually did not watch any Beyblade. I may have watched one or two episodes, but I just never was able to get into it as a kid. I think that might have been, again, because I didn't know about pirating anything off the internet. Sorry, watching legally on YouTube.
I was about to say, let's not start telling them what to do. Let's not start telling them about that.
No, but in all honesty, I remember Beyblade being on JetX because that was it was there, or Toonami had all the different Japanese anime that you could watch pretty much when I was a kid, as far as I remember. And I just remember, I think if you didn't watch one episode, you could get so confused. When compared to American cartoons, American cartoons are one and done. I mean, think Timmy Turner and SpongeBob and stuff. Then you go to anime where they do, oh, we've got this tournament arc. Well, there's this big battle. Oh, you missed this week, which is the conclusion to that. And now your favorite character is sitting on the sidelines doing something. So again, I just never got into Beyblade, so I'll take your word for it.
It is a genuinely great song. Oh, I can't always understand what they're saying when it comes to the song, but it's still a great song. And I'd like to think that at some point down the line, I mean, the newer fans of Beyblade can go down and appreciate this song and the original series.
Yeah, I mean, from what I heard, it's got a really good rock sound to it.
Yeah. But is that everything? Is that all we got?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So thanks for joining us, everybody. What anime English openings do you like? Obviously, we missed a few crucial ones, which I'm sorry, but we can't list all of them at this point. And not only that, but whose list did you like more, mine or Williamson's, or neither of ours? Because that's probably the best answer. That's probably the answer that everybody agrees with.
Or are there options on both of our lists that you like that would combine into the perfect list for you?
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments below.
Of course, and we will probably tell you, like I agree with that pick, but I'm not too sure about that because there's just a lot of anime we haven't seen, a lot of English openings we haven't paid attention to. Not only that, but just this is a fun one. Any Japanese anime opening out there? If you'd want to, which one would you like sung in English? Which one? Because there's plenty of them out there that I think could be done right.
Yeah, and I mean, should companies start investing money back into this? Because that's kind of the whole reason they stopped, was that they can save money without having to make a whole new opening. So should they do this again for animes, especially the big popular ones, to give new fans a better chance of watching?
Right. And please let us know. And please, if you really want to make us suffer, let us know if you want a video on some of the worst anime openings, because there are a lot of good anime openings, but the ones that are bad are unsatisfactory. Yeah. But anyways, let us know. This has been Foster.
And Williamson.
And this has been the Anime Egotists, where our whole life is a gag anime. And with the Anime Egotists, if you disagree, you're wrong. That's Beyblade.
You're watching Anime Egotists! And actually, I'm a better trainer than Brendan. Oh, come on, May. A little humility?